Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Sheets, and I'm going to be going over some thoughts on the NBA slate tonight. Just a ton of value out there. Talk about ways that I don't know. I think that lineups could be built, and then we'll take a look at the pay dirt optimals and see the way they are being built. And again, I'm not going to build mine probably until we get out of here, but um, I think that when you have four games like this, you might be I don't know. You might be well suited to do some kind of stacking. I mean, just because you have OKC the Knicks are that's a close spread, but then you have Philly -7 or so, Boston -7 or so. Then you have Portland -10 or so. So on the one hand, OKC and the Knicks look to be the most competitive game yet. That's not really where the value is, right? I mean, the value is coming in large part from Philadelphia, and we'll talk about that in a second. Hey, what's up, Andy? So again, I'm just going to go through, what the value is and what it would look like. I mean, like here's like the pay dirt optimals, for example, like pay dirt. Then we'll talk about what I have. So the pay dirt, if you just go to straight optimals, you're looking at 98% Donovan Clingan, 98% Maxey, and then you have almost 100% Quentin Grimes. So the Quentin Grimes experience, like it wasn't enough that we busted with it the other day. We have to come right back to it, I suppose, which is always pleasant. But it looks as though he's just kind of too cheap. So I guess we're going to have to face it again. There is a very interesting question which people will bring up all the time in NBA DFS is when you have like these teams with a whole bunch of value plays, is there an amount of guys that you're unwilling to play on the same team? Now it's kind of a loaded question. Not even a loaded question. It's an odd question because the answer is it depends, right? It depends on how many players there are. And what their projections are and how much they take from one another and things like that. Now, again, with the advent of some of these portfolio management tools like SaberSim and whatever that factor in the way players correlate with one another, to me, it kind of takes that question out of the equation. Like for me, if I'm going to get to lineups with 4 or 5 guys using processes that account for that, then I'm just going to kind of go with it. And I'm not going to really ask those types of questions. Now, from a purist perspective, if you're going to play like a bunch of guys from one team, you could argue that you probably want to play something on the other side. So, like for example, all right, let's take a look at Philly for a second. When you look at the I don't know if this is the same as pay dirt, but as far as point per dollar plays, like all the top like million guys are all from Philly. So, I mean, you could play like a ton of them. And if you did that, you could argue that you're just supposed to play at least somebody from Utah. Right? I mean, because that's like the hashtag run back. The problem is that like none of these guys like project all that great, like Filipowski, Keontae George, but maybe that's what makes that lineup okay. Maybe if we do something like a whole bunch of Phillies, and we'll use Maxey because we can certainly afford him, and let's just go one by one down the list here. Just like let's play 5 Phillies even. Why not? So let's play Quentin Grimes, and then we'll play. Let me see. Justin Edwards at 3K. Do you want to do that? You want to play Drummonds? I mean, what do you want to do? But the point is, we'll fill in the Phillies. Then again, which Phillies do we play here? Let's put in Drummond. You want to do one more? You want to put in who else? Who else is a 6X guy? Edwards and even Payne and Watford. So what does Edwards look like? 3K. Goodness gracious. And just for fun, if you played like all of this, and then you played the 2 guys over here, then you now have a full Philly-Utah stack, okay? And two of the guys are just not going to project well. So you're going to have like a low-owned, at least some low-owned pieces of this, and then you just fill in your favorite, you know, $8,600 cat or somebody that makes sense, you know, whatever it is. So that's the way, like the real pure way of thinking about slates like this. Now, let me just pull up some other guys here that at least I'm getting to as far as like values. Like if you don't see the Philly guys as the main source of value, like the next ones are going to be the Memphises. But they are not like nearly like 6x. Like these are all kind of, I'm just sort of at point per dollar right now. These are all 5xers. So it's interesting to see Klingon take such a big role in the optimals, huh? I mean, there are center options, you know, like Drummond is a very, very strong center option tonight. So I don't know about Klingon being such a huge part of it, but we'll see what I end up with. When it comes to like not sort of just by value, but by just actually who's going to score. So Maxey does show up as the best, but then you have this Shea. Okay, now he's only got a 49-point projection, but you know he's at Madison Square Garden, and he sat last night. So, I mean, I think he's going to get turned loose tonight, and he could put up a big number here, you know. And you see, like, Maxey's going to get all the ownership, but I don't know, man. You know, you get Shea going here, and then like if you want, you build some lineup of say Shea and Cat, you know, or Shea, Cat, Brunson, or something like that. Then you fill it in with the Philly guys with no Maxey. I mean, that could be pretty different, you know. Like for example, I'm just gonna hand build this to see what it could look like. Is you play like Shea, and then you play like Cat, right? So Cat is gonna be, you know, with all that good center value. I don't think anybody's gonna play him. Okay. And then let's see if we could also get in Brunson. Why not? We could try. If we put in Brunson 9,100, so you could totally do this, because then what you can do is then play all of this Philly stuff. You know, you could play Grimes, you could play Edwards, you could play Watford. I mean, you could play all of this, and you could even play like the kind of decent looking. Who is that from this game? Clayton. And then you could play someone that's decent at 6K, you know. So I think that's another. Again, these are hand building options. But like, so the point is that you don't have to use the Philly guys with like Maxey. You know, you could use these just as salary savers, to get kind of these kind of low owned type stacks in. Now, just for the hell of it, is there any good 6K player? According to my rankings, not really. Like every one of these is like Drummond 52, Javon Small 55. I mean, in a situation like this, I don't really want to leave that like money on the table, but then you can put two Memphises in there. You put something like that. Or what is Clayton a forward maybe? Anyway. So you could totally be a hand builder, and get these low owned stacks in here, even in a 4-game slate, because of the presence of this value over there. Or like if you didn't want to do that, you know, you go Portland against you get Chicago, Charlotte against Boston, and you turn that into like a stack here where you play like Ball and Miller. And then you also play, you could do this, like, and then also play Jaylen Brown. You put him where you want to put him here. It doesn't really matter. Let's put him here. All right. It's been nice to meet you. And normally you couldn't afford this kind of stuff, but because of the presence of all the Philly value and with Clayton and whatever, you could totally do this. You play Watford. You could even play probably 4 Drummonds, and then Grimes again. And then if you want, you can play more guys. I mean, you can go and play your what's his name? Clayton over here. And then come back and get somebody else, you know, even from the Philly game or whatever. Or Prosper, right? We thought he was a pretty good play. So there's ways to utilize these Philly guys if you're going to hand build tonight. And I think get some pretty cool lineups. I mean, I don't know what to say. Unfortunately, I'm not equipped yet to create a tutorial on how to use the Pater to build the lineups. I will get there. I'm learning like anybody else. So James is right now going to be the guy to actually get in there. I'll tell you, like when he comes on here and does the building, I mean, it's amazing to me how he can click through like all the different whatchamacallit, all the different tools. I mean, because I'm still kind of like transitioning and learning and, you know, relying on SaberSim to at least start my lineup builds. But what we can do, I'll show you what we're going to do. Let's build using SaberSim, and then we'll put those into the portfolio manager and see if it can't like do its magic and improve upon them. How about that? So that's something we could try to do together. So let's first, again, this is like kind of like a SaberSim thing, but again, I just have to do this my way. Okay, so let's put again, all we're doing is we're just building like a bunch of lineups here. And then we'll put like 5,000 lineups together. And I got to save something. And then what we'll do is we'll put it into the Pater portfolio manager and just kind of work it. So this is going to take me a minute. What the hell just happened there? How did this happen? Oh, okay, ended up winning. That's aggravating. So Opelka won. All right, so I have a couple lineups that are okay. It's a little annoying. Okay, so let me just you can get a couple lineups together here. Let's talk about hockey a little bit as well, and I'm just going to kind of go over. Look at all this Maxi I'm getting.
Sir, I'm a journalist. Here's a copy of not on this. Go to the top of the room.
One thing I will say, Almost Famous is a great movie. Not for nothing, but only the 74th time this has been on.
No, who are you with? What band?
Oh, I'm here to interview Black Sabbath. I'm a journalist. I'm not.
I don't want.
So let's put a bunch of lineups together here.
What?
And the way you got to put these, like if you use SaberSim to put them in here, you got to like clean this up a little bit.
This is pretty lame, man. Show some respect. Groupies, sleep with Fox.
So let's not put in 5,000 lineups. Let's do like 1,000 or something like that. Just give the portfolio manager a break. And let's save this here. And then we'll go into the Pater portfolio manager.
No more exploiting our bodies and our hearts. Just blowjobs, and that's it. It's all happening.
Okay, so We're here, and we will just use the Pater pricing model. That's just to it just cleans up the slate a little bit. Now, as far as portfolio goes, let's upload the 1,000 lineups that I created. Okay, should be there. And we'll upload the projection files from PayDirt. And now we're just going to hit Manage Portfolio. And it's taking these 1,000 lineups and it's just kind of listing them. Now I made these by whatchamacallit, by ROI. So let's just see first of all what my exposures are. Now again, I'm using 1,000 lineups here. So we're gonna look at this, and Quentin Grimes is like, let's see, is in how many of these? Like 96% of them. Okay, so Grimes and Maxey are going to be littered throughout the lineups, and then a little bit of a drop, right, to these other Philly guys, but it is these Philly guys. Okay, so how do we kind of make the best of this? So one thing I could do is I could sort by different metrics. Okay, so like first thing we can do is, well, you want to do the stratify thing where we stratify by, we'll use 150 lineups and we'll stratify by diversity, I guess. Okay. And we hit portfolio. And now what's doing is creating 150 of these lineups that are going to be, you know, as much unlike each other as possible, to attempt to diversify a little bit. And when we do that, let's see what happens when we analyze the players. See if it makes any real change here. And this is unfortunately, the problem with the NBA. I mean, there's nothing you could do, man. Like, it's such a projection-based sport that you're still just going to get like 90% Grimes. It's just the way it is. But you're only getting 58% Maxey when you do it this way. This is one way to get a little bit different. Let's screw around with a couple of other things that just are always interesting to me. So let's go back to, let's reset the portfolio.
Rock and roll is a lifestyle and a way of thinking, and it's not about money.
And what I wanted to do,
although some money would be nice, but it's a voice that says,
is take a look at these. So that you get a bunch of these lineups that are showing like a bunch of dupes. So I don't like that. So one thing I could do is I could sort and make sure to take out any lineups that are projected to have any dupes. Now, that might be a little greedy on a 4-game slate, but you know what? Why not? I mean, I'm in kind of a greedy mood. So what we could do is we put macro filter options, and then we do maximum acceptable dupes. We'll do 0. It must be greater than or equal to 1. I don't want any dupes. What do you think about that? Portfolio. Let's see. Now let's download this portfolio. Now it's only 1 dupe per. So what I could do is I could just take out anything with 1 dupe. So I could do that. But that's actually something I want to bring up to James. I don't want to have to put 1 in. I want to have 0 dupes. So this is good. So now it's resorted all my stuff by, and it's also taken out the dupes. So then what I could do is I could just use these as my 150. Now, am I even playing 150? See, herein lies the problem, right? I'm playing actually 148 lineups, but some of them just are not meant for this. So I'm only playing 60 in the lottery and 20 in the play-by-play. So it's really 6 lineups that I'm worried about here, 60 lineups. So what I could do is literally, I'll just take the top 60. And these could be my lotto lineups. How about that? Is that fair?
Russell, hey, this is Penny Lane.
So I'd like to say that it's portfolio manager, it's very helpful when you already have lineups built. That I promise you. Well, let's see. So let's put in. There you go. We'll put these lineups here. Oh, it was those 60, and then the next 60 we could put in the $8. So that's 64 through 123. So that's another 60, right? Now again, this is not particularly, like scientific, because why do I want like the 60, like not the, I mean, why do I want to like really give the worst lineups to that tournament? So what I really, again, I still need to figure out a way to utilize this, yet still make sure that the tournaments that I want, or the lineups that I put in are appropriate for the tournaments that I'm playing. Yeah. So okay. So here's one thing you could do. So to check this out. All right. So this is something that again, this is not for the week, but let's just say that you have this thing of 657 lineups. Okay. I'm going to show you something. What's this? 600. One 60 sets. Hold on. 160. Another 60. One of 20 with all. Hold on. Balancing. Not assuming. Hold on. Based on they are. I want to make sure it works first. 1 second. Portfolio.
I'm under Harry Houdini. Come on, let's party back.
The enemy. Come up to LA, we'll talk some more.
Later, Jack.
Depends what kind of mood it's in. Hold on.
Joey, Ed. See you, Nick. Greg. Yeah, later, guys.
So here, I actually did this with ChatGPT. So I gave it this prompt. I just said, here's my top 650 lines, create 3 sets, 1 of 60, 1 of 60, 1 of 20, balancing the messaging. So what ChatGPT did is it did a snake draft where it had a set of 1, a set of 2, a set of 3. And so then I could download it this way. And it said it can even let you optimize it by balancing all this stuff. So you could use ChatGPT. So I've actually been trying to vibe code this stuff as well for situations literally just like this. Here come my files. Here they are. See what they look like. This is lineup set 1. You can re-upload your smaller set. Yeah, I could do that too. So I mean, like there are things that you could do. Right now, unfortunately, SaberSim is my favorite way. But I've messed around. I got all kinds of codes that I'm kind of working on. I have one for UFC that automatically spreads out your exposures and stuff like that. So yeah. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to do this, but yeah, that is a challenge. Okay, I gotta get out of here soon. But let me look at FanDuel real quick, and we'll build these. But I'll get him to work on it maybe. That's not what I want. I want to.
Keep small bills on the outside and call me if anyone gets drunk.
I will call you if anyone anywhere gets drunk.
Good.
Yeah, I could definitely do that.
See, sense of humor. Funny joke. Have fun at the dance. I'm glad you're making friends.
I don't need to do this. Oh wait, I want to use my own projections again.
Love you.
While I'm here, just I promised, I will build my hockeys as well, or at least show you what I think my favorite hockey stacks would be. Like right here, probably it looks like Anaheim, like all 4 of these. Anaheim looks good. Carolina, Islanders, Devils. These are my 4 favorites here. Again, well, that doesn't mean I'm going to play all those, but and then again, look at even my top ranked guys like Anaheim. All these Anaheims. Devils show up here, and Anaheim definitely looks like the best of the stacks. And it's the same thing on FanDuel. I mean, look at this. We got Tyrese Maxey. He's just everywhere. What I'll probably end up doing, guys, just so you know, as far as process goes, I'll get my lineups all set, and at the very least, I'll use the paid-for portfolio manager to sort out the dupes. I think that makes some sense. I mean, I don't really need it. I mean, it's hard enough to win the NBA. You know what I mean? I don't need to be fighting with dupe lineups. Yep, Tyrese, 81%. Same stuff. And again, one of these days I will go on maybe with Kiki, and we'll do a joint one where we combine like my lineup building stuff with Kiki's no puck knowledge, and maybe we'll get something going over there. And then let's just do the hockey while we're here. Again, I wrote on too much time. I have to go pick up dinner. And I have to build my lineups. And I have to redo projections. It's all kinds of variants. I might do another PGA lineup construction video maybe later if I have time. Maybe if there's like a live sweat. If there's a live sweat tonight, maybe I'll go on there and do a live lineup build. I'm sure that I'm not sure, but I wonder if I wonder what the Pater golf optimals are looking like. No, I'm not. I'm out of that business now. Sorry about that, Scott. you know what, if I'm around when I put them there, if I'm playing, then if I'm around, I'll throw them into Discord or something like that. But it was just, honestly, it was way too much. It was way too much. I would say pressure, but you know, I just don't have that in me. To always do that.
This is William, this is Ben Torres, the music editor at Rolling Stone magazine. We got a couple copies of your stories from the San Diego Door. Is this the same William Miller?
Yes, it is.
Voice of God, howling dogs, the spirit
Yep.
of rock and roll. Good solid stuff, man.
All right, let me take a look real quick at FanDuel, just so I could like at least guide you for who I think I'd be getting here. On FanDuel, if there's any difference, I mean Grimes again, Clayton Edwards. So it's just the same, guys. It really is. Maybe that's the key. Maybe what I'll do, since everybody's going to have like very similar projections, similar whatever, I guess the way to get different, maybe I will do something with the stratify function with the portfolio manager, or maybe again just like sort out by dupes. It definitely increases the risk a little bit, but it does, you know, make your portfolio a little bit different. So maybe that's the key.
Honey, I think you should do that thing that fixes the garbage disposal.
Well, I certainly know how my lady gets when you don't snap to it. Crazy.
So the FanDuel not billed yet? Let's make sure.
Beware of Rolling Stone magazine, because they will change your story, they'll rewrite it, you know, turn it into swill.
Besides that, what would be wrong with it?
Pretty good story, my friend. Look, to the story.
One thing I will say about hockey while I have you guys here again, like my one kind of like thing that my personal thing that stamp that I put on the lineup building process is that I still believe that no matter what all the technologies that people have put out, that the amount that correlation plays into how you're supposed to build hockey lineups is just completely underestimated by all optimizers and even all contest sims. That is just my opinion, and I always just X out like all stacks that are not either 6s, 5-2s, or 4-3s. And there's just nobody that can convince me of otherwise. The people have told me that, you know, hey, you know, trust Saber Sim, trust the Sims, you know, you're getting all these and this, that, and the other thing. It just makes no mathematical sense to me, and it will just not happen. I'm just not going to play that way. And the same is going to be said for baseball. Once baseball comes out, there will only be 5-man stacks, maybe some 4-4s. Let me just this is not exactly what I want to do, but just because I'm doing it anyway, I may as well just show you what I have. I mean, why not? So in hockey, I am, see that? Only 6s, 5-2s, and 4-3s. And then my team stacks is pretty spread out today. Devils, Carolina, Islanders, Anaheim, I mentioned that. There are late game, like 3 late games here, so there's a lot of late swap opportunities here. And here's FanDuel. Did I build FanDuel here? Let's do this. Yeah, 81% maxi.
Is this Mr. Miller? Yeah. You have a message from Elaine? Mother?
So what I will do is I will go back to that portfolio thing here where it had not the 11 dupes. I want the one with the 0 dupes. Where is that? And I am going to actually, for the lottery, why not? For the lottery, I will go in and make use of the portfolio manager and at least at least do the non-dupe lineups.
Although it would be cool to be on this.
Oh, I did do this already. Okay, good. And the other thing I have to do is now that I've done that, again, so that I'm all set up for my late swap, I now have to go back into SaberSim actually. And is this FanDuel or DraftKings? I have to go in and re-upload because I manually changed what was used in the entry editor there. So let me.
Maybe that's a good thing.
And this goes up here. And this goes up here.
You okay?
All right. Hopefully it was a live sweat because I do want to do a live lineup build a little bit later with the golf. And that's it. I'm back a little bit, so I'm gonna do my UFC breakdown either later tonight or tomorrow. And yeah, that's it. Good to see you here, Scott. Good to see you, everybody, and good luck, everybody.